Hey guys, I'm Dee Harris. Welcome to another episode of Hanging Out with Dee, and guess what? I have a super cool friend to introduce you to today, Adelka Polak. She's a mixed media artist. Welcome, Adelka.
Thank you.
Really cool to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, who is a mixed media artist? What does that mean?
A mixed media artist. It's
Yes.
such an exciting thing to be. It's a mixed media. I'm a mixed media performing artist.
Performing
because I have taken I took theater to a level of the nonverbal oftentimes and layers of meaning, and then also of performance mediums, meaning I dance, and then I also use puppetry and mask work to communicate something to an audience.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a performer?
No, I didn't, but I have always loved to dance since I was a little kid.
Since you were a little
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back there. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio.
And where did you go to school?
I went to school, when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Way
man,
back there.
Way back when. The Frankel Blue Devils Middle School.
Oh my gosh.
Austintown Fitch High School, yes.
Oh my God. So you had this cool story about how you went to Slovakia. Talk about that.
Oh yeah, when I was a little kid, I will never forget that when my mother took me for a month to Slovakia to see her family. It was Czechoslovakia at the time.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was such a wonderful experience because it was the first time that I really got to be outside all of the time, because it's a small village where she grew up. There can't be more than 200 people who live there today. Yeah.
Very small.
Yes, very extremely small and fairly remote as well, you know. So there's a sort of an old feeling to the place, you know, where people live off the land still. You know, there are mountains, there are hillsides full of people who grow potatoes and wheat still, yeah. So I was able to run around with chickens and chase the cats around and just play basically and run through the woods, which was really exciting for me.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's an unforgettable memory.
Yeah.
And you said your dad was in the steel mills. Talk about that.
Yes, yeah. My dad worked in the steel mills, as did most of his family. So my mother immigrated here from Czechoslovakia just around the time when he had got his job in the steel mills in Youngstown, Ohio. Yeah. So it used to be a major steel city until around the time that I was born. The steel mills shut down around that time.
Yeah. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So you're a faculty member at WestCon. Tell us about that. What do you do there? Yeah, so
I'm on staff in the theater arts department. So I'm the university assistant. What that means is I do a whole lot of things. Whatever, I fill in the blanks for the department basically. I'm running around making sure that props are here or there for whichever show we're doing at the time, and making sure that the students have everything that they need. And I'm just setting an example too by being present as a working professional artist when I'm not there. So it's good for them to have interaction and experience with somebody who's working.
Who's actually doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So do you love teaching?
Yeah.
Do you love, and what do you love about doing that?
I love teaching because it's that moment when I get to share what my work is, you know, and I get to share the art form in a very technical way, you know, where I can break it down into like sort of a system. Even though I don't always use the same system for creation every time, it's a beautiful thing to be able to share that joy of an art form with
the
others.
Students. I get that.
Yeah.
And I think it's also cool that you're passing something on to the future. You know, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you're in New York a lot, doing fantastic, amazing things. What are you doing? Yeah,
so right now I just started working with Heather Henson's company, Ibex Puppetry, and she's creating a show with Ty Defoe. And it's a brand new devised theater piece that is going to premiere at La Mama Theater in the East Village on November 5th through 8th.
Nice.
And it's called Crane on Earth and Sky. And we're using using a lot of new puppets in the performance, as well as some of the major crane puppets that she's had in her repertoire for years as well.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited.
I know. And I'm really happy for you. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So when did you know that you loved dance and theater specifically? Can you remember the time or the age? What?
Yeah. Oh, when I loved dance from the moment I took my first dance class.
And when was that?
I must have been in the 2nd grade around there. Yeah. And my sister was also I have 2 sisters, and my middle sister Maria, she was on the dance team, and if I didn't have a certain move exactly right, you know, she was my drill sergeant and told me exactly how to do it.
What's her name?
Maria.
Shout out to Maria. So what exactly do you love about the medium of dance and theater?
Well, you know, dance is something where you can express something that is totally nonverbal, right? We use words with so many, you know, to communicate so many different things. Dance it has the ability to get to a sort of raw emotion.
Absolutely.
And it transcends the need for words sometimes, which helps too, since I grew up in a bilingual household.
Yes, that must have been very interesting. The first time I saw you was that first night this year at the Danbury Library, and I was like, what?
That was so much fun.
You absolutely transformed yourself into each character and each mask that you wore. So I'm really excited to have my guests see, my friends out there see what you do.
Thank you.
So you've toured all over the U.S. and Europe. Where are some of the interesting places that you've gone?
Some of my favorite countries that I've been to are Bulgaria. They have some of the best puppetry in the entire world. Yeah, and because they have state puppet theaters that are very well funded. Although I'm not sure if that's the case anymore, because the last time that I was there, it seemed like they were having some cuts. But anyways, they have such layering of costumes, and it's just really, they do extraordinary puppetry, and it's a very interesting landscape too, Bulgaria, when you go inland and then also near the seaside in Varna, because it has this really old world feeling, like an opera house that is painted totally pink, you know,
oh my goodness,
among a lot of different rubble of just, you know, broken old sidewalks and different things, you know, but really phenomenal theater within the city.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I've also been to South Korea for a show with Squonk Opera, and also to Turkey. Izmir was such a beautiful port city in the Mediterranean.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right, guys, it's time for Dee's Life Questions. All right, Adelka, what do you know for sure?
What do I know for sure?
What do you know for sure?
The last couple of years have been major years of transition for me in my life, and in terms of home and place. And I realized that for sure, no matter what, your body is your home. You know?
Oh my goodness!
And you're right there with it, no matter what. You know?
That's so beautiful.
And you're able to travel in that way, you know, and sort of be free. And as a dancer, that's a really important concept to understand, is that you don't need a lot with you, you know, to make something happen. You could just do it.
That is beautiful, Adelka.
Yeah.
We could just stop and pause right there, but we must move on. That was beautiful. I love that your body is your home. That's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
What is love? I know that you have the amazing Justin as your hubby life partner and partner in crime and in love. What is love to you? What does that mean when you think of love?
Oh, it's a connection where it's a full circle. You know, where it feels like it keeps flowing. It can't be broken. You know. Yeah, and hopefully it keeps extending outwards.
Correct.
That it's not just something to be shared with necessarily one other person, but as many people as you could possibly reach.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, Adelka. What is spirituality for you?
Spirituality, it's doing, in some ways, it's doing my art form. It's listening to the wind. It's watching the leaves fall this time of year.
Yes.
It's every breath that we take, really. Staying connected both to the world around us and then also each other.
Yes.
As much as possible. Yeah.
I love that. High five for that. And then you were saying that dance for you is moving art. What does that mean?
Yeah, so dance really, I look at it as moving sculpture oftentimes, you know, where a painting it's that moment where a painting could come to life.
Yes.
You create these forms, you create these images, and you let them breathe then, in live time and live moments, you're present.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What motivates you?
What motivates me? Oh, man.
What makes you put one foot in front of the other and do what you do?
Puppetry. In some ways, yes. It's like I just love it so much. It's where I've evolved to.
Yeah.
I feel like from pure movement within the self to the theater, and then to this beautiful art form that where you could figure out how to make something inanimate come to life. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are your mentors? You talked about two people who were so instrumental in who you are today. Who are they?
Oh yeah, Michael Pestle was he was a fantastic professor of mine at Chatham University in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And he is a sound artist actually, and he is also an environmental sculptor.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but everybody thought that. Maybe he was in the art department, but everyone thought he was in the music department.
Yeah, because he was so creative. He crossed both worlds.
Right, exactly. And I was in the theater department, and some people thought I was in the art department. So it was. I loved that ability in him to cross boundaries.
Yes,
yeah,
I get that.
And to across artistic disciplines. Yeah.
And who is the second person?
Yeah.
Before Evan gives me the wrap up. Who is the other person? You said she gave you wings.
Yeah, Marilyn O'Connor Miller. She's right here in Connecticut, and she's a puppeteer. She's been doing it for years, and she has a sweet little Italian puppet named Piccolo, and she gave me fairy wings as a present.
That is beautiful. We'll never forget that. Shout out to all those amazing people. All right, guys, it's time for I Don't Like That, Mom. All right, Adelka, what gets on your last nerve?
Oh. Mean people.
Mean people.
Authoritarian personalities that are just really hard to work with, That could be a tough...
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Especially for someone who's artistic like we are.
Right.
Yeah.
And we want to collaborate. We
love collaborate, but don't dominate our brain or yes, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let everyone breathe in
give us some
the
oxygen.
Group, right? Please. I know. Sometimes I just tell people you just have to go take a walk in the forest and just to be with the trees for a minute.
Yes.
Breathe just for a second.
Breathe. And the other one you said was lack of imagination.
Oh, lack of imagination, right. And that oftentimes goes with those kinds of personalities.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Because, when we create so many systems to the point where, it feels suffocating sometimes, where we need the imagination to keep going, to keep thriving. Arts should not be considered a sidebar or an extracurricular activity. It should be integrated. Just like, we understood the arts and sciences to be together. And we still do to some degree, but I think that we can do
better.
Yeah, we could do better.
Agreed.
Sure. Yes.
Awesome, Adelka. Now it's time for Say What, guys? All right, guys, so Say What is the segment in the program where our masters get to talk about their areas of expertise. And so we're going to hand it over to Adelka. All right, Dylan, first graphic. Veiled illusions. All right, let's see the first point. Focus your mind, you said.
Yeah, so you have to focus your mind more than anything, right, before you go onto stage, right? You have to take a moment to be calm and to be present and to know exactly where you're at, exactly who your audience is, and make sure that you're aware of what could happen, and that you don't know oftentimes what's going to happen in a live performance, what will go right, what will go wrong.
Okay, so you have to think of the different possibilities.
Right. So and just be present and understand that you're gonna deal with it no matter what, because you have to do this. You have to be this character. You have to be fully aware of your environment and what's happening with each and every single step. Yeah.
Okay, I got that. How long does it take for you to get present? Does it take like a minute? Do you have to do like a meditation, or is it something that over time you just are able to do?
Yeah, meditation does help for sure. I normally tend to do that earlier in the day, before I would go into a performance or something.
Yeah.
But it could take 3 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. Good. All right. Next graphic. You said breathe.
Breathe, yes. Right, we talk about breath a lot, right?
Yeah.
And especially when I work with some characters like the leaf blanket here, which is perfect for our season, right?
Yeah, that's for fall.
And it's a pure transformation under that blanket, where I am totally veiled by the blanket, and you don't see any face or anything, but and you don't see where my body is, and that breath is what brings the character to life.
Yes.
It's what gives each moment life. Yeah. So
beautiful.
So breath is so vital.
Okay. Next graphic. Find the focus of the mask. So we're looking at here on set, these are all masks that you've made or that you use in your work, right?
Yes, yes. So this is, and Justin, my partner, he created this mask. Oh. This is my bird mask and puppet.
Yes.
And I'm gonna just puppet it today, so I don't ruin too many surprises for when you come to see a live performance.
Yes.
Right, but focusing is trying to figure out where the focus of this mask is, right? So when I'm wearing it, my head is actually down like this.
Yes.
So I have to figure out where the eyes are on the mask.
Correct.
So when the mask moves, I have to make sure that the mask goes with where the eyes should be, or what sort of body part is it leading with?
Absolutely.
So sometimes it leads with the beak, right? Because that's such a beautiful part of the mask. Yeah. So you have to, and then it's vital to coordinate that with your own self.
Yes. Yes, I get that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right,
I
next graphic. Find your energetic or emotional quality in the performance. What does that mean, Miss Adelka?
Oh, so what do you want to express? What do you want to get across? What sort of emotion do you have? Is it playful?
Yes.
Is it something that surprises you, like my frog?
I love your frog. My kids love that one.
This is definitely a family favorite,
yes,
for sure.
It's fantastic. I love that.
Or is the piece meditative? Is it playful? Is it meditative? Or is it very excited? Is it very fun? Is
Yes.
it what is the energetic quality of the piece, and what do you want to communicate to the audience with
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah.
And what can only be expressed in this way, without the use of words. So that's,
I love that. All right, next graphic. Create your own artistry that's honest. What does that mean?
creating your own artistry that's honest is to consider what it is that you feel or understand when you look at a mask, maybe, or a puppet. Maybe you had a certain idea about what it should be, but when it's actually in your hands after it's fully created and it's in its physical form, it may tell you something different.
I get that.
So you have to be honest with not forcing it to be something other than it is, regardless of what you intended to do with it.
Absolutely.
And it's just being honest as an artist, just in general, and making sure you're just right on point, right with yourself, right with your life, and what your perspective is. Yeah.
So like, when you say honesty, you mean not trying to imitate somebody else's expression of it.
Sure.
But what do you feel from it?
Right,
I get that.
And then also, but it's really exciting when there are through lines where there is a connection with another artist as well.
Yes.
Because that's very exciting. Even though the ideas may look very similar, they could be just totally in sync, because there are so many things happening in this world, and thoughts are going every which way throughout the universe, and it may hit 2 people, 3 people, 4
At the
people.
same time. I got that. All right, next slide. Learn how to grow stage presence.
Stage presence.
What does that mean?
It means that every single one of us could be a star, right?
Yes.
we have. If you put your arms out and grow up through the spine, you expand your entire presence and your entire being. Yes. and it's just something. It's just something that we could just keep on working by, polishing that core, if it means doing exercises, if it just means imagining being held up by a string from your spine up through the top of your head.
So your poise, your posture, everything.
Like a marionette, yeah.
Fantastic. I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, guys. We're now going to see a real funny video, and then after that, Adelka is going to do a fantastic performance for us with music by Rick and
Cynthia. Yes.
Quintanal.
Yeah.
Fantastic. See you soon. Thank you, Adelka Polak. That was beautiful. What beautiful artistry. Thank you so much. And thank you, Rick and Cynthia Quintanil, for that beautiful piece of music and my cool pants. Thank you. You know where to find us on Facebook, Hanging Out with Dee. See you next time and be kind to someone. Bye.